bitch. My name is Teno Merkaba, and in today's video, obviously, I am doing Venus in Sagittarius. Thank you so much for joining me. Please make sure to like, share, subscribe, all that cute shit. Also, remember to check out my other channel, Avocado Man. That will be in the link in the description. It will be linked down in the description below. Follow me on my Instagram, Teno Merkaba Astrology, for a birth chart reading from me. And I will give you a menu of all the different chart readings or all the different readings you can get from me. Get straight to Venus and Sagittarius. Okay. So guys, Venus and Sagittarius, right? So Sagittarius is ruled by the 9th house. The 9th house is the house of morality, your moral systems, your spirituality. It rules experiences. So just think of all the experiences that you got. Like your entire life, you've just been experiencing things. And with those experiences, you learn things. You gain wisdom in terms of like your own, like how people act on a broad philosophical level. In terms of like, okay, I've met these types of people. There's like shy people, and shy people, you need to approach them in this way. And then there's like the extroverted people that you need to approach in that way. And then there's these kinds of people that you should approach in that way. But you know this due to experiences. And then you also know if somebody acts like this, then some shit might pop off. But if somebody acts like that, then they usually mean this and this and this. So you know what I'm saying? Through experiencing people and your own life and just like witnessing other people experience their own life, you gain experiences. It's like opposite to the 3rd house, where it's more so about the intellectual, book smart kind of intelligence. You know what I'm saying? Whereas the 9th house is about, let's actually put it in action. Because once again, Sagittarius is a fire sign. And fire is about the action. You know what I'm saying? It's about the actually, let's do something. But the only difference with this fire and the other 2 fires is that its conscious awareness or its energy is more so towards gaining wisdom about things, whereas the Leo fire is about the self-expression, and then the Aries fire is about the individuality kind of expression. You know what I'm saying? Whereas the Sagittarius is really about the philosophical wisdom type of experiencing fire type of thing. You know what I'm saying? I know you guys know what I'm saying. So yeah, that's Sagittarius. It's also ruled by Jupiter. So Jupiter expands. Jupiter is basically just like the 9th house. It's like it's a spiritual planet. But the only thing is that Jupiter expands anything that it touches. So it expands experience. So if Jupiter is here with the 9th house and it's expanding in experiences, it's expanding in wisdom, it's expanding in, expression, it's expanding in just anything. You know what I'm saying? Feelings. That's why Sagittarius energy, if you feel sad, Jupiter is going to expand that shit. If you feel happy, it's going to expand it. That's why Sagittarius, sun, moon, and rising people might have a bit of a temper. And then when they get into that energy, they expand on it. But it's also just as quick because they're mutable, right? They're mutable. So mutable is like kind of in and out. It's like everywhere. You know what I'm saying? It's in and out, but it's also like generally everywhere. And this kind of Sagittarius fire, just think of when you're smoking and then you exhale that smoke out. That's basically Sag fire. It's eventually going to spread everywhere. So this fire is trying to spread its own wisdom to everybody without being attached to things. Because once again, fire doesn't really attach to things. It's like air. Only air, like things, you can't really connect to the air, but you can feel it, because you're breathing it in. So technically you can, but in terms of the fire, anything that fire touches, it's going to burn down to reality or burn down to ash. And ash, that's basically earth. You know what I'm saying? So in that sense, fire signs don't really connect unless it's like other fires so that they can be one bigger fire. So in that sense, they can connect. But generally, if you touch fire, you're going to fucking burn, But the Sagittarius fire is all, and that's more so the Leo fire, But Sagittarius fire, like I said, it's like the shit that you exhale out. So it's not as hot, even though it can be, because once again, if it expands, if Jupiter is like, yo, bro, we're going to expand on this thing, then it can get that big. But for the most part, it's not that hot, even though I said it can be. But it's like generally more so to spread the heat to everybody. So just think of like an actual heater. You know what I'm saying? Like a heater can bring warmth to a whole room if you put it in one room and like close all the windows, you know, that heat spreads everywhere. So that's somewhat of the Sagittarius. Excuse me. That's like the Sagittarius energy in a nutshell, you know. And then with it being mutable, so it's mutable fire, like I said. So mutable meaning it's able to adapt and kind of it's able to adapt and it's able to adapt to its own and other people's ways of seeing and feeling about things. Because fire is seeing. Seeing meaning it can see energy, it can see visions, you know, it can see where you're coming from. But like with actual sight, you know what I'm saying? It's like the actual expression of it, you know. So Sagittariuses are able to kind of see where everybody's coming from. And this is somewhat like what they share with their sextile sign Libra. But only in Libra it's different because they're more so about relating themselves so that they can relate whatever you're going through and put themselves in your shoes and then intellectualize whatever it is that you're going through, compromise and love and appreciate it, right? And then kind of intellectually know where you're coming from. Whereas Sagittarius is, they're using the fire thing, so they can also put themselves in your shoe, but the only difference is that they have a wisdom of why you even came to that conclusion. You know what I'm saying? So if we put all of that, if we put Jupiter, we're putting the 9th house, and we're putting mutable fire into Venus, this is somebody that loves and appreciates all experiences in life, you know. Whereas the Gemini, like the polarity in Gemini love and appreciate information in general, and they love a good, like they can talk about literally anything, the most stupid thing, the most intellectual thing. They like to dibble and dabble into like conversations, you know, like they talk about this and then the conversation redirects itself into this, you know what I'm saying? Sagittarius is basically the same thing, but Sagittarius is like, see, whereas a Gemini Venus would like love and appreciate all kinds of conversations, communication, Sagittarius, the opposite, would love and appreciate all kinds of experiences, you know, and they love and appreciate people who know exactly what the fuck they're talking about. Like, they love and appreciate people who have like gone through things, so whenever they say things, it's coming from a place of experience, so they can share those experiences with that Venus and Sagittarius person. That Venus and Sagittarius person feels like, oh my fucking god, dude, you're so fucking cool, you've been through so many things, I want to do those things, teach me, you know. So that's the thing, especially in relationships, like they like to be taught, like their mental, it's not like sapiosexual kind of energy, even though technically it is, but it's more so about like, I want to experience something so like I can gain wisdom from it. So I don't know if there's a word for, maybe, so if there's sapiosexual, meaning mental fucks, maybe, I don't know if there's a word for wisdom fucks, but that's Sagittarius vibe. Sagittarius people love people that like have experienced specific things, whether it's like either by learning, but as long as that person is like, they know exactly what the fuck they're talking about, and they like how they say things, like they light up, and you can, if the Sagittarius Venus person feels like, shit, this person knows, like this person really is about whatever it is that they're saying, like, because the way that they're saying it, like, and how they're describing the situation, how they're describing the experience, it's like almost as if that Venus and Sagittarius person can also see the vision, you know, because now you're sparking, now you're really in their Venus, like you're sparking their own imagination. And fire is really somewhat, it's like water, but water is more so the intuitive side of the imagination. But still, fire is more so like bringing that imagination out, you know, so they can see that imagination and they be like, oh my fucking god, like I want to experience that with you, you know. And they get that adrenaline rush, and it's like, oh my god, whoo, shit, let me have sex with you right now. Pull your pants down right now. Let me get busy. You know, that type of thing. So once again, they love and appreciate all kinds of experiences, because if they're not learning from like sitting down and talking to you, they like actually going out and experiencing things in their lives, you know. So they may not be like a Gemini who wouldn't mind just sitting down there and speaking about the possibilities without actually going and experiencing for themselves. A Sagittarius may sit down there for a little while, but eventually they're gonna be like, okay, let's put this into action, because their trine sign is Aries, and Aries is about the action, you know. So is Leo, you know what I'm saying? So obviously there's gonna be their sister sign, so they're gonna take on some traits. So Sagittarius Venus would love and appreciate actually going forward. It's like, okay, we can talk about this, but let's actually go and do it. Like, let's go experience this for ourselves. Let's see it for ourselves. Let's go, like, use our own bodies, our eyes, our ears, our nose, our mouths, and go sense this shit for our fucking selves, you know? Because, I mean, to a Sagittarius, once again, like, because they are mutable, they're able to kind of jump in and jump out of catering to other people's energies, you know? But eventually, like, they don't want to feel stuck in, okay, this is what, we're only doing this, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's the thing with Sagittarius Venuses, is they have this, and Sagittarius energy in general, you know, where they don't want to feel like they're trapped in anything. And anything can feel like somewhat of a cage, you know, where they feel like, oh my god, I feel obligated. Sagittarius just basically don't want to feel obligated to do anything, because they love and appreciate freedom. You know what I'm saying? And it's like sometimes, because you know in relationships there's a predisposed obligation, like, oh, there's specific rules that we can do, we can't do. We shouldn't speak to these people. We should. Sagittarius Venuses don't like that. They like Aquarius Venuses, where it's like, nah, I don't know. You're not gonna tell me what to do. I'm a whole person. Like, I'm not a fucking pet. You know what I'm saying? Like, Sagittarius Venuses don't want to feel like their actions are, okay, maybe not to say they don't want to feel like that, because Sagittarius Venus will feel like, yo, your feelings are your feelings. Even though I understand where you're coming from, but how you deal with however you feel, that's on you, you know? So if you choose to feel bad or angry because I'm exploring my own freedom as my own human, then that's on you, you know? And if you still probe at that Sagittarius Venus, like, yeah, you said, you know, we're in this relationship and you need to, oh, they're out. They're out. They like Aquarius. They're gone. You're not gonna see them ever again, you know, until you realize that this Sagittarius Venus is gonna do whatever the fuck they want to do, because this is what they love and appreciate. Freedom. Just like Aquarius Venuses, you know, and just the Aquarius energy. And I feel like that's why Sagittarius and Aquarius people would go really well, because the Sagittarius and Aquarius people have the somewhat understanding of, like, with the time we're together, but the time we're not, we don't have to be annoying to each other, you know. We don't have to, like, constantly communicate, because it's like, if I don't see you for a while, that means that period I'm missing you, and then when I see you again, it's the same energy of, like, having fun. And that's the thing with Sagittarius, is like, if the fun is gone and it feels like a job, you know, because the job is 6th house, so that's their square, that's the square TV, that's the square little thing that they have, you know. And their in conjunction sign would be Taurus also, which is the sign of consistency. And Sagittarius Venuses are not consistent in anything, you know. They like spontaneity. They like knowing that they can like, they like duality. And that's the thing that's why I think Venus and Sagittarius would like the opposition with the Gemini Venus would probably be a lot cooler than any other opposition, you know, because Gemini is able to, like, switch it up, you know, and, like, just turn it up, you know. And Sagittarius is like that, because it's also like, oh wow, it gives them freedom to, like, not be the same, you know. Because, you know, sometimes, like, people always, like I say, there's an obligation for you to cater the same energy always consistently. Sagittariuses don't want to feel like they have to always be, like, super goofy, because sometimes they just want to, like, not say anything. And Sagittarius might just want to, like, be in a room and just, like, be in their own space, you know, for a while. And then also, if they are in that space, they don't want to feel like, oh, people or, like, their friends are, like, counting on them to be the funny one all the time. Even though Sagittarius people do like a good time, you know, they love laughs, they love light-hearted energies. They don't like people throwing their emotional weight around. And even though sometimes they will help, like, they'll give you the wisdom to, like, do, you know, sometimes things aren't that deep, you know, but they don't want someone that's always gonna come at them with that same, like, they don't want to feel like, oh, whenever I'm around this person, I always have to be the one giving you advice, or I always have to be the one that cheers you up, or I always have to be the one that, like, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like, yo, fuck, now I have to be I have to, like, you know what I'm saying? I have to cater to that same shit, and that's so annoying, because it's like, dude, I'm not your I'm not your mother, I'm not your dad, don't give me that responsibility, you know what I'm saying? Because I feel like Sagittarius's Venus also are very chaotic. Once again, it does depend on your sun moon, because if you have a Capricorn sun, then, you know, that does help a lot. But it's also still a thing, like, in your relationships or how you relate to people, or even just your love language. Like, your love language is basically freedom. You give people freedom, and you want to be given freedom, or you want to have freedom for yourself, because you don't want to feel like anyone owns you, and you don't want to feel like you owe anyone anything. You know what I'm saying? There always has to be freedom with this, which is the same thing as the Aquarius Venus, the Gemini Venus. Not so much Libra Venus, because Libra Venuses are able to compromise their own being to somebody else, so that there's somewhat of a balance, you know. So I'll add Aquarius, Gemini, and maybe Aries Venus, you know, like where there's like a sense of freedom, and or sense of individuality. You know what I'm saying? Because Sagittarius don't want to feel like. They don't want to feel like they are your parent, you know? Because also the other in conjunction sign to them is the 4th house. Cancer. You know what I'm saying? The home, let's take care of business and shit like that, you know? So that's something they share with Aquariuses, you know, where it's like, we don't have to fucking... Like, I'm not your parent, you know? Like, don't rely on me to always be like this to you. So if we have that kind of understanding, then we already have opened this portal of, if we are together, then we just do what we do and we have fun. And, you know, everyone is, like, contributing to the fun. But as soon as it feels like, oh, now shit's getting heavy, they're out. Because once again, this is not like the Leo fire. That's staying consistent, you know. The Sagittarius fire is more so, like, it's spreading everywhere. So they want to, just like Aquarius, they want to network. But they're not really networking. And this is the thing that I was saying. It's like Sagittarius is like experiencing everything. And Aquariuses are experimental to everything, you know? And to experiment, you obviously have to like go witness things and like detach and like go do other things and witness things without having to feel like, you know, someone's counting on you for everything. But the Sagittarius, it's like similar to the Aquarius, where it's like, I can't experience and gain more wisdom if I'm stuck in this cage, this so-called cage, you know, or I can't experience, or I can't feel free if I feel like I'm being suffocated by someone who's relying on me to be like this. You know, because, you know, like in relationships, especially I feel like now, you know, and Instagram has this role in like, posting things like, oh, my girlfriend shouldn't be like this, my boyfriend shouldn't be like this, my girlfriend annoying. It's annoying for a Venus and Sagittarius person, because they just want to be able to express themselves however. Like, if today they feel like being quiet, they don't want someone to be like, and then why are you not being funny? Come on, cater to me. Do that thing that you would do. You know, they don't want to feel like that, you know. But if it does come, once again, if they have like Capricorn, or maybe they have like a Pisces moon, or a Scorpio moon, or Taurus moon, maybe a Virgo moon, maybe, I said Taurus moon, if it's a Taurus moon, Cancer moon, Virgo moon, maybe Leo moon, not Libra moon, Scorpio moon, Capricorn moon, not Pisces moon, but those moons, and also depending on the houses that the moons are in, then they'll probably be a lot more susceptible to settle down, you know, because if they have like all Sagittarius, then forget about it, sweetie. But even if sometimes, okay, let me say when they're young, especially, but actually no, Sagittarius, especially Sagittarius men, they never fucking grow up, ever. Sag men just don't grow up. They just like grow in body, but not as like they don't psychologically grow the fuck up, which is a good thing, but also like it can get annoying, you know. But for the most part, like I said, if they have any of those moon signs, then they may be a lot more prone to like, you know, like be willing to be in a relationship. But it would probably, like, to them it would be like, okay, damn, like I'm willing to give up my freedom for you, so you should you should be thankful that I'm willing to give up my freedom for you, you know? But sometimes Venuses may not realize that, like, other people don't see relationships as being in a cage or sacrificing your freedom. You know what I'm saying? It's not that hectic. Like, but Venus and Sagittarius people will see it like that. Like, yo, I'm really about to give my freedom to you, and I'm about to, like, willingly be here by choice, you know? And other people, like a Libra Venus will be like, oh, okay, cool. But a Libra Venus will really just compromise. They'll work around you, you know? A Venus in Aquarius, they'll, like, I think you'd probably go a lot better with either Venus and Libra. Okay, Venus and Libra will probably, like, analyze you, see what you like, be like, okay, you want to do the freedom thing? Cool, we can do the freedom thing together. Whereas the Aquarius Venus would be like, listen, dude, you do your thing, I'll do my thing. But when we come back, you know, you still have your space, I'll have my space, but we'll be in the same room with our own spaces, and we'll still be cool, we'll be friends, but you have your thing, I have my thing. We can make jokes, but, you know, Zayoba. It's cool. Whereas the Libra Venus will be like, listen, we can travel, we can do things together, you know? Aquarius may not be so willing to, like, do everything that the Sag wants to do. So in that way, Aquarius will give you freedom. And then the Libra will be like, let's just do this shit together, you know? Because of the partnership, that type of thing. You know, and then the Venus in Gemini, that opposition will... You guys will probably have it'll be like a friendship type thing. Like, I feel like your relationship, if you're a Venus and Sag dating a Venus and Gemini, then you guys would more so probably do that thing where you're friends, but you're also dating, but you're actually just friends. So you're also, like, having an open relationship, but you're, like, it'll be just like those types of things, you know. But it'll be like a mutual understanding. So drop a comment if you are dating someone like that, or if you maybe have a friend like that, and you guys are friends, but you're actually dating, and you're fucking, but you're, like, just friends, but you're also simultaneously dating, you know. It's just, like, a whole bundle of, like, duality and, like, you know, variety. Because I know Venus and Sagittarius people love variety, you know. But for the most part, they love knowing that all their relationships or everything that they do is because there's a meaning behind it. Because once again, the 9th house is here, you know. So also with this, like, Jupiter being here, I think it could expand. So anything that you love and appreciate is going to be expanded. Definitely. Know that. It's going to be expanded. So if you're into some self-deprecating things, you're probably going to overindulge in that. But if you, and this is definitely the sign that loves sex, like, tons of fucking, like, a lot of fucking, dude. A lot of it, you know. And if you date, you probably date a lot, especially if you have this in the 7th house, you know. And if it's conjuncting, like, Jupiter, maybe, then you expand on a lot of relationships. So you've had quite a bit of relationships in your life, you know, and all of those relationships you see as experiences that have taught you about yourself, but also about people in general and how relationships are. So you learn more things, like, you learn about relationships and how to relate to people. And then with that, as age comes, you learn, like, okay, some relationships are not for me, just because, you know, some relationships require obligation, and you don't necessarily like obligation, you know. And then you learn, okay, some relationships are a lot easier, you know. Or maybe you just decide, no, maybe relationships are just not for me, and you're gonna be for the streets your whole life, you know. And that's a decision that you make for yourself, and that's cool. And then, you know, there's also the I was gonna say something, shit, I forgot about it. But yeah, that's Venus and Sagittarius, guys. These guys are... Oh, is that a mosquito? Yeah, that's a mosquito. There's always a mosquito in my room now. Fucking hell. Cause this nigga trying, you was really trying to do some, you don't know who you fucking with, baby. Sample, vanilla, what is this actually smells quite nice. Yikes. It's tight, but it doesn't bite. Grip and bite. Venus and Sag. Yeah, guys, sorry about that. So yeah, Venus and Sagittarius people. These guys are really nice if you're trying to try something new. Like, get a Venus and Sag if you're the person that's like, I'd say a Taurus should probably have a Venus and Sagittarius friend, just so like a Taurus is like, snapping out of their little rut. Sometimes Venus and Sagittarius people are really dope if you're trying to like do some crazy shit, like go bungee jumping or go if you just want to try something new, you're trying to like, you want a buddy to travel with to Europe, that's, or even a Sagittarius sun or moon, anyone that has a Sag something, except Mercury, that's just how they think and communicate. But if they have Sagittarius, Mars, Venus, Moon, or Mercury, or Sun, or maybe rising, but definitely Jupiter. Explore with someone with Sagittarius, but especially Sagittarius Venus, because it's something that they're gonna love and appreciate, And I feel like in relationships, you guys would probably want someone to travel with, which is why I say Venus and Libra would probably do a lot better, as opposed to Venus in Aquarius, who would probably maybe not want to travel with you, but they'll give you the freedom to do whatever the fuck you want, unless they actually do want to travel with you. But for the most part, if they're like stuck in their ways because they are fixed sign, and they're like, nah, dude, nah, Venus and Sag, do your thing, I'll be here when you get back, that type of thing. So, and a Libra will be like, fuck it, I'm gonna come with you, So I say for that, like, I think a Venus and Libra would probably do a lot better, if not a Venus and Gemini, with a Venus in Sag person, But yeah, these guys are super fun, and they love a good time, but they don't like typical... They wouldn't really budge for like an ordinary relationship where it's like we merge together and we share everything, because fire signs have this thing where they need a part of them just to themselves, like they give you what they think you like, they'll give you enough of themselves, but if you try to like really like bring out emotions in them that they're not ready to give to you like that, then they're out of there. They're just like Aquarius is like, it takes very little for them to just want to dip, because if something gets too hectic, they're out. they in the front door. They gone, they're not really choosy in terms of who they hang out with. Like, they don't have a specific type. I realize that. Once again, it does depend on your other placements. But Venus and Sag people, I feel like just like Pisces, they love people for who they are, They just take things at face value. And they're like, yo, this is you? Oh, wait, dude, cool. Let's get to it. Do you want a guy? Do you want a cigarette? Do you want a shot? I've got you, They're not classist or... They don't... Okay, let me not speak for every Sagittarius Venus, because there are different people, once again, depending on your chart, but I think a generalized overview of this is that Sagittarius Venuses are just like, why the fuck is there a thing? God damn it. Come here. Where did you go? And why are you flying so fast? Fucking hell. Fuck. Okay, anyway, sorry about that, guys. There's a fucking moth in my room. But yeah, guys, that's Sagittarius Venus people. These people are super cool, and they're down to do whatever. Like I said, they don't really judge people based on their appearances. They really like you. If you're smart, they fuck with you. And they fuck with mostly everybody in the world. But if you fuck with their freedom, then they hate you. They'll hate you forever, And if you're like way too serious about just like, I don't think a Sagittarius Venus would do good with a Capricorn, someone with a lot of Capricorn placements. Or perhaps not so much Taurus, because Tauruses still have Venus and they're still lovable, Cancer, they share the Jupiter aspect because Cancer is exalted in Jupiter. See, I think Sag does well with pretty much everybody. they'll be willing to get along with you, but they'll give you that thing like, yeah, I won't always be here. You know what I'm saying? So appreciate the time that you do have with me, and let that be it. But for the most part, don't just one thing, don't make them feel obligated, because they're gonna be out the door. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching my video. Once again, if you like this, please give it a like and subscribe and comment something really cool, or your feedback, whatever. That would be greatly appreciated. Make sure to check out my other YouTube channel, Avocado Man, where I will be doing other things, like not astrology things. Check out my Instagrams, and in my next video I'll be doing Sagittarius, Venus through the 12 astrological houses, so check that out. And yeah.